Made it. What lies ahead looks even less welcoming.
She screams and screams and screams and never stops the screams. The roots quake and my bones quiver and still the screaming. The tree, the tree.
Be grateful that you don't feel the need.
Greet the Reaper for me. I'm ready.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
I'll yield to none.
I'll yield to none.
Howling. How can you bear it?
The spirit cocks his head and covers his ears, hoping to muffle screams that only he can hear.
Ah, I thought the ancestors' screams had drawn you here as well. They came to me on the wind, though I am not sure the devil's breath that perturbs the air here can rightly be called wind. It is no wonder it screams. The tree is barely more than carcass, blistered and charred. Its spirit wails into the ether, but I can't understand its words. Perhaps you can succeed where I can't. My heart breaks for our ascendant. Find a way to relieve its suffering, and I will find a way to reward you. A druid. There are too few of us. Elf-kind finds value in flesh where memory lingers. I collect memories, yes, but I am more keen on bark and leaf. On the living breeze, not the sleeping past. Well, yes. I have kept my ears to the ground, ghostly they may be. This is an archive, a library devoted to history and scholarship. There must be a record there of the elf that spawned the corrupted tree. I can't say where its entrance lays. The whispers that speak of the archive are all but drowned by my ancestors' grief. The howling.
The spirit cocks his head and... The spirit of a black-ringed defiler swings her ghostly blade at invisible foes. She turns and shouts to unseen comrades. Her voice is a guttural snarl, ruined by the effects of death fog.
Go, find the druid. We need to find out what he knows. I'll hold these things off.
She turns back and cleaves her sword through the air. It makes contact with something. The statue is a strike. Even stranger, a shard of... Even a triple-sized troll couldn't make the... The statue is even stranger. A shard of polished iron peeks from under the statue's base. There's something hidden beneath this massive sculpture. The hymn twines around the effigy like a fine thread. Guardian burning bright with sourceful flame, abide the sacred call, reveal the godsless hall. Winged keeper, song doth bid you break. The priest shall scry the demon's lies, the chains await their captive. From stone to dust, from stone to dust.
Good job. Blood and rot. No good has ever graced this place.
The priest has scried the demon's lies. The priest has scried the demon's lies.
It's not working. There's something to this I'm not seeing.
The spirit of a young robed man paces the chamber anxiously. He sees you approach. A look of trepidation crosses his spectral features.
Did my order send you? To cure the child?
The spirit falters, momentarily lost for words. Finally, he musters a nod.
I was hungry and thirsty for days. Then I rested. When I woke up next to my corpse, I thought I was delirious. I hoped I was delirious. But eventually some form of demon seized her and nested inside her mind. She cannot speak or move. We did what we could to help, but we could not risk provoking the beast within. We confined her here until a way to safely remove the demon could be found. It was my duty to watch over her. But she has no family that we know of. All she had was a pet cat. That poor girl's life is drifting past her. Thanks. Her cell is just over there. I can let you in, but are you sure you can help her? What are you going to do? Some of the best minds in Riverlon couldn't help this girl. And you think you can do better than they did. But nobody else is coming to help, are they? I'll let you in, but promise me one thing. Whatever happens, take her away from this place. Far away.
The spirit can't help but smile.
I knew you had good in you, the moment I laid eyes on you. Come, I'll let you in. Take good care of her. Bring her somewhere peaceful. Don't disturb the demon within her. There's no telling what could happen if it breaks free.
Get away! Do you hear me? Away! I won't let anyone hurt my mistress anymore. Mistress saved me when I was a kitten. She took me in, fed me and kept me warm. She deserves loyalty. I won't leave her side, not until she wakes. My heart stopped beating and my flesh fell away. No matter, I'm staying here.
The tension eases out from the cat's skeletal form. It sits.
Go on. I'll be watching.
The young girl lies still and silent in the center of the floor, bound by chains. The young girl lies... The young girl lies silently on the floor, eyes open and staring. Her only movement is the tiniest rise and fall of her chest. The girl's eyes don't even flicker as you lean in close. Her fingers seem to grip you ever so slightly. The girl's grip tightens. A flush of color spreads across her previously bloodless features. She's grown stronger, strong enough to move, perhaps. The little girl doesn't acknowledge your presence. She remains locked away somewhere deep within her own mind.
Mistress is gone. I can still smell her. She must be near. I'll find her, no matter how long.
Please. There's a young girl here in need of help.
The priest has scried the demon's lies. The chill of the vault seems even colder for what you have just witnessed.
To lock someone away for eternity is terrible. To leave them with no one but a demon for company, that is unforgivable.
Forever in the dark, forever amid the cursed. This was a place of sadism, not salvation.
A dusty old chamber with a demon locked inside. There's a metaphor in here somewhere. Why these folks would volunteer for it is beyond me. Quite the crowd.
The advocate has been waiting.
The knight leans in, a strange look of panic in his eyes that doesn't quite match his powerful voice.
Go! We have wasted enough time here, and he is not a patient creature.
Tree. Gotta get back. Gotta guard. Can't let it out. Get...
Your attention is appreciated, sir, but misplaced. You...
Kill the bastard! Wear his skin! Dance, citizen!
The elf's face, twisted in a grotesque rage, slowly calms.
I beg your pardon. You need... The tree is surrounded, and the advocate has
Sweet
us...
thing, succulent thing. We are so pleased to see you, but not as pleased as him.
You look into her eyes and see screams. You hear her gaze upon your body and taste her carnal, violent lust, metallic and sharp as a blade in your mouth.
Go. Speak to the advocate. Make him happy.
The flaming figure emits no heat, yet your skin seems to sizzle if you draw too near. Looking closer, you notice the statue's clerical garb, so similar to that worn by the ghostly priests bonded to the Isle, an unlikely coincidence. The hymn twines around the effigy like a fine thread. Guardian burning bright with sourceful flame, abide the sacred call, reveal the godsless hall. Winged keeper, song doth bid you break. The priest shall scry the demon's lies, the chains await their captive. From stone to dust, from stone to dust.
This again?
The chains bind their captive. Trembling spirit wrings his hands, his eyes darting around the room. They settle.
What are you doing here? What do you want? You mustn't linger. You mustn't remain. One must not mean harm to do it. Please, go.
His hands shake. He clears his throat.
As a priest, I had a patient. A dastardly demon held him in its grasp. The demon absorbed all his pain. In exchange for his soul. I was certain we'd only diminish the demon by overwhelming my patient with pain. I planned to torture the demon until it gave up its grip over the poor fellow. I began in earnest, but his cries pierced my heart. Even if the treatment could save him, I hadn't the stomach nor the soul for it. So I lied to the others. I told them there was no helping him. I told them to seal us down here, where he could do no harm, where I could guard his prison. Better one soul damned than two. This demon gluts itself on pain. Only the utmost torture would draw him forth. I couldn't do it. I refused to subject myself or my comrades to such barbarism. If you've the stomach for such an ungodly task, I won't keep you from it. Perhaps you could inflict the pain that's needed. We broke the lever for the door when we locked him inside, so that none would ever attempt to free him.
The chains bind their captive. The lever part of the lock mechanism seems to be missing. There is... The lever part of the lock... The chains bind their...
You should go from here. This is no place for the living. It's the silver shaft that's missing. There's an anvil where silver can be properly melted. That ought to do it. We broke the leap.
I tell if he's to be trusted?
You don't need me to tell you that.
True. I'm in deep, deep.
You want to buy something or not?
No, thanks. Ah, there you are, and with just the little demonic host I've been looking for. You don't mind if I have a word with Ms. Losa, do you? I was just curious about the progress of your little hunt.
I met your old buddy Jahan, if that's what you mean.
I don't have buddies. I have associates. So, did he help you with the, matter at hand?
He's putting me through my paces. I have a few more hoops to jump through before he'll help me.
Nothing in life is free, I suppose. Make sure you do jump. That is all we need.
You're here to work. Are you also here to trade? I have much to show. I trade, you have coin. I have wares, nothing else matters. Your friend wanted a new deal. Wanted to renegotiate terms. We have a wager. Some say she succeeds. Some say not. What say you? Good. Tell me, how do you bet? For the half-blood or against? Good. Now, see what happens. Until then, do you wish to trade? You like your nose? Then do not stick it where it's not welcome. We are where we are meant to be. We will be told, look, do not see you again. Perhaps.
That is all we need.
The lizard's eyes are dark as polished coal, void of all light. A faint frost seems to cover the cracked and broken scales around his mouth.
You have a reputation for both malfeasance and chaos. Imagine my surprise when it took you so long to find your way here. I see. Well, here you stand. In the flesh, so to speak. And a finer collection of corpusculae I never have seen. I trust you are not opposed to a mutually beneficial accord between civil and gentle persons. Likewise, I am sure. But I am not here to bandy niceties. Our situation is somewhat less than ideal. I am here at the behest of my master to offer you a simple exchange. An offer of aid for the promise of aid. The epitome of civil reciprocity. You and he possess a common foe. The power behind the Voidwoken has made our lives hell, so to speak. Since the Divine Order unleashed Death Fog against the Black Ring and those darling woodland creatures. And as the gods have shirked their duty, perhaps we could come to a mutually beneficial arrangement pertaining to both of our objectives. Indeed, I can offer you the source channel that you seek forthwith, as a gesture of good faith. Excellent. My master has found your kind to be an eternally pragmatic group. The issue at hand is a simple one. We have suffered a Black Ring incursion into our sacred groves. They surround a tree that sits at the heart of this fair isle. Once the Black Ring have been eliminated, I have been authorized to send you on your way with that which you pursue, the location of the Council of Seven. As for your initial reward, it seems in my excitement I misjudged you. You are more powerful than I had first assumed.
Your ability to channel Source has sadly already passed the limits of my means. Although let it not be said that I ever shirked my duty. If I cannot gift you one boon, I shall gift you another. It would be such a shame to see this Source be simply left languishing in its current vessel after all.
There is neither enigmatic lore nor magical jewel required to open the channels of Source. It is enough to seize it with sufficient force of will, to know that all creatures are nothing but Source and vain hope.
You feel the pull of a far-off connection. You feel the dungeon, the red organic tendrils binding you. Your ears are filled with screams, and you're surprised to find they are your own. Cold pain shoots through your veins, sharp and quick, but cleansing. You can feel your body opening up, filling with the promise of power as your ability to channel Source swells.
Oh, what delectation. Why waste such power on flesh when it can be trapped in the pages of a tome?
Now, tell me, is there anything further in which you yearn to be enlightened? One may ask, one may inquire, but one should be eternally wary of what one demands, and one should heed that twicefold for information like this. There is power in names, power far, far in excess of your mortal limits. I'll not deliver that power unto him. Perhaps you utter some truth. Surely his ear could not be eternally cocked. Very well. The master of the Voidwoken is a creature older than any demon. My master will never speak his true name, but the Black Ring know him as the God King of... To arms! His savage minions have found us!
Help us, friend. Bane, join us. Join us. Join us.
Wretched spirit, you could have brought destruction on us all. Ah, at least the vital components have withstood the onslaught. Tell me, do you require further knowledge? Why, the only thing you truly desire, or certainly the only thing you truly need, I will reveal unto you the location of the Council of Seven. My master has dealt with many of your ilk, small-minded creatures with a hunger for power, out to save themselves or loved ones or the world, some fantasy or another. But all are willing to strike a covenant if it means their success. One was even willing to give up the location of this council to earn my master's boon. How felicitous that you merely have to spill a little blood to earn the same.
You are my master's guest. I welcome you as long as he does. Treat with him. Quickly.
He doesn't respond at first. Instead, he stares, consuming you with his eyes. He bites his frayed lower lip, drawing blood.
Master is master. He wants you to go to him, west of here.
He barely seems to notice your repeated question at first. His eyes are dark pools in which your reflection is drowning.
You are so delicious. A servant. A loyal servant.
He wrings his hands as he answers you, wrings them bloody.
Loyal and hungry. Go now. Save your questions for Master. Spare me your presence.
He shoves his gnarled fist to his maw and bites down on his knuckles. His response reaches your ears as a muffled plea.
A loyal servant.
The being lurches...
Handsome sir, do not tease me with what I cannot have. My master has dealings with you. Make haste.
She blows you a kiss. You swallow back rising bile and turn away.
Speak with my master.
The bitter air warms. You are relieved.
Was it the death fog that got them, or something else?
unfinished. Was it never used?
I've spotted something.
Much knowledge, so much history. I could get lost in these tomes.
What's this? I found something.
spirit urgently passes a hand across the spines, whispering each tome's title as she comes across it.
No, no, it isn't here. This isn't possible. You, my brother, help me find it. There is little time. This is no time for pranks, my friend. The Doctor's arrogance may end us all. He has released a dark presence upon us. It must never sing the taming. The hymnals must be destroyed. And yet, I see no sign one was ever here. You must help me look.
Her hands fan furiously across the tomes like a pianist's upon the keys.
You must be feverish, though I wouldn't be surprised. Dr. David was surely ill to risk all that he's built here. Now be silent. Your questions vex me, and I have no time for idle chatter.
She hushes you with an index finger held... The transparent artifact glimmers of its own accord, as if conducting light from another world, another plane of living. As your hand nears it, it shivers and speaks. Your head perks. You know these words. This is the language of demons. Few have heard it spoken aloud.
Connected as one. The past and the present slave. Absolution and redemption await the one whose sins are many.
It's a crystal blade, seemingly separated from its hilt. It's clearly of a kind with the object you recovered from the Surrey tomb. The object repeats the words it
The hilt of a blade, I do believe. But clearly no ordinary blade.
I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void. I can feel my source power draining. I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void. I can feel my source power draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void.
I can feel my source powers draining at the merest touch. Tenebrium is truly a material of the void.
Do you have the book I seek?
Second time's a charm? Or have I asked too much of you?
Try as he might, Tarquin cannot hide a small flash of surprise.
Where did you hear that precisely? Never mind. The Aeteran is a children's fable, nothing more. Supposedly a wand with an infinite capacity for source. Pure nonsense, I assure you. Really? Well, perhaps that says more about the caliber of their intellect than anything else. Such a device would be a gross overconcentration of power. It could purge the entire world of all source. Luckily, the laws of the universe render such a thing impossible.
The object quivers as Tarquin nears it and hums a response. Connected as one, the past and present slain, absolution and redemption await the one whose sins are many.
Oh, very good. Very, very, very good. This, my friend, is the key. Give me some time, and every deity in existence will tremble at the sight of you.
He holds out his hand, expectantly.
Lovely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must work.
Tarquin turns away, but continues to mutter excitedly.